Everybody loves dads, stories, and the Marine Corps. What could be better than Marine Corps dads who tell stories? Here's another story with veteran storyteller John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad.
Tonight, we're going to tell the story of Spidermunk. Once upon a time, in the deep forest, a little chipmunk went wandering upon the ground. His uncle and his aunt chipmunks did not know that he had gone out. And so the little chipmunk went out into the forest and chanced upon a spider web. And in that spider web was a spider that had escaped from Acme Laboratories. And the spider saw the chipmunk, and he said, and he bit the chipmunk, and the chipmunk went, ah! And that night, as the chipmunk lay on the forest floor, he gained the powers of a spider, and became Spidermunk, doing whatever spider monks do. And so this little chipmunk in a mask would go throughout the forest, swinging through the trees of the forest like a little, really, really small, 3-inch long Tarzan.
Did he have a cape?
No cape. Spidermunk doesn't have cape. Spidermunk would throw out his web, get it to a tree, and swing through. Nobody had any idea what was going on. Birds were like, tweet! Tweeting in panic as something whips by their nest. They didn't know who it was. And so Spidermunk went around the forest trying to solve crimes. There's not a whole lot of crimes in the forest, though, you know what I'm saying? But the supervillains began to come, because every time a hero rises, a villain must also rise, or these stories can't happen. And so one day a toad was in the midst of his pond and got zapped by lightning. That toad died, but his friend, the other toad, got the powers of electricity. And he became Electrode. Ribbit. And Spidermunk saw Electrode, and he said, Electrode! And he went after him with those little webs in the trees. And he didn't really know what to do, though. He just kept swinging through the forest. And Electrode was like, Ribbit, Ribbit, Ribbit. And Electrode tried to get him. He shut out his tongue to try to get Spidermunk, and Spidermunk nimbly dodged. He threw a little backwards chipmunk flip and shot his web right into Electrode's mouth and got his tongue stuck in his mouth. And Electrode spat the web out. Chipmunk web. And he said, Spidermunk, I'ma get you. And he jumped up into the air over the pond. And electricity and ponds don't mix. And Electrode hit the water. And he electrocuted a roach that was on the ground near the pond. And so Electrode sank under the water. Because the water had turned his electricity off. And Spidermunk didn't know. So Spidermunk is still swinging. He's flipping, dodging, he's weaving, he's zigging and zagging, trying to make sure that Electrode can't hit him. But where's Electrode? Electrode is unconscious on the bottom of the pond. And no one was around, and the forest was quiet. And so Spidermunk said, I am a hero. I am Spidermunk, and I will protect this forest. And maybe another night, we'll learn another of the adventures of Spidermunk. The end.
That was another story with John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad. Check the show notes for links to his Patreon and website at creativegrumbles.com.